Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to Spirit Saturdays. We are going to do some live readings here. I'm very excited. There is a lot of energy in this room. I know a lot of people have been emailing me and sending me messages on who they want to connect with. And so I'm really excited to connect with your family members, your loved ones. I want to tell you guys a little bit about how I work. So usually when I have a one-on-one, I will connect with your energy, and then I'll see what loved ones are around you and who wants to come through. So what I did, just because I know I have a lot of people who wanted a reading, what I did was prior to going online, I connected with some of your loved ones already. So I will start with who's here. Okay, let's see. Oh, I see Dennis. I see Molly. I see Sean. Okay, so Sean, I'm going to start with you. This is my first time doing Facebook Live, by the way, so I'm going to try and, okay, there you are, Sean. Okay. Oh, hi, Kaleo. Okay, so Sean, I'm going to start with you since you were the first one to get a hold of me. You wanted to connect with Joseph and Evelyn. Hi, Jeremy. So when I went into meditation, I saw the first person to come in. At first I thought it was a mom, but then it felt like it was grandmother. So Sean, is Evelyn and Joseph your grandmother and grandfather? That's what I was getting. Can you confirm that for me, just so I make sure that I have the right person? Sean Hall. Okay, well, I'll just go forward. So what I saw for you, Sean, was this woman that came in, and she was really tough, kind of like this do it herself, take charge kind of person. Okay, yes, thank you very much. So this is your grandmother who came in. So she came in, and it looked like it was with your grandfather, Joseph, and it seemed like she was like holding his head, and what it felt like, whenever I see that, it feels like, I'm not sure if did your grandfather have some sort of dementia, or some sort of mental illness. It felt like maybe later on in his life. It seemed like your grandmother was taking care of him. Does that make sense to you? And it's kind of hard, the response time here, so I'll just keep going. Okay, yes, okay, confirmation. Okay, so your grandmother felt like very hardworking. She almost felt like she felt kind of country. It felt like either her or your grandfather like worked with the earth. I felt like agriculture. So your grandmother took care of your grandfather a lot, especially in his later life, and she was very, very hardworking. Like I said, take care, like do it herself, take care of everyone kind of person. It also, then she showed me it. I couldn't really tell what it was, but it almost looked like it was either a hose or some sort of a light. And I felt like she had saved you or some family member from something. I didn't know if it was like a fire or maybe it was like symbolic of a fire, but I saw your grandmother literally pulling someone out of something, like saving them. So I don't know if there was like, I'm seeing a yes. I don't know if that was a yes to some sort of a fire, or if she literally, like, if somehow, if that's symbolic, that she saved, it felt like she saved somebody from something. It was either something physical, or she saved them, like she was like, okay, so no, so there was no fire. But it does feel like, it feels like someone in the family maybe was like mentally ill, and this could have been your grandfather with dementia, but it feels like she literally was like the savior, like pulling someone, and really helping them out. So I also got, she just showed me there was like so much love in the room when I'm connecting with her. I don't know if she called you her little doll, but she was like looking at you as if you were her little doll. And I just kept hearing like little doll, like she adored you. And she showed a picture of her like swinging you as a little girl in her arms, and she really wanted you just to know that she's always with you. She's always there. She's always there protecting you. She almost serves as like a kind of a guardian angel for you. I feel like your grandfather, he was there as well. Joseph was there as well, but he was very quiet. So I don't know if that was kind of his personality, if he was quiet in life, but he didn't really say much. It was mostly your grandmother who was very talkative. And then it was either her or your grandfather. They were showing me like a favorite, it was either a wheelchair or a favorite chair, and I felt like it had to do with your grandfather. So I don't know if he was either in a wheelchair or if he had this chair. They were just showing me this chair. But it was something that like he spent a lot of time in. And then I asked what's their message? Why did they come in? Because I felt they came in like really quickly and really strong. And so their message to you, this was your grandmother speaking. She said, chin up. She literally took your chin and said, chin up. She's right there with you. She's helping you. And then she showed me you holding on to a steering wheel, and it was like you were holding on so tightly, and she was saying just to let go. It's like it's time to let go that situation or person that you're trying to control. It's time to just let it go and just let it be. That the tighter you hold on to it, the harder and the more that you try and fix it and change it, the worse it's going to be. So everything will kind of fall into place if you can let go. And she made it feel like you knew what that was. I wasn't sure if it was a situation or a person, but it's something that you were just like, I just saw the steering wheel and you're just holding on so tightly, and your grandmother's really encouraging you to just let it go. Just let it go. Okay. So that was pretty much it for when your grandma came in and your grandfather. Let me see who else is on here, because I wanted to try and get her son. My dad has lung cancer. Okay. Did you have a question? Did you have a question about that? Did you want me to ask her something? Did you want me to ask her about your dad? Let me just check in with her. Sometimes, okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, so let me see if I can connect with Evelyn. Okay, yeah. So she's around your dad right now. She's like, I don't know why, but I've seen like a microphone. I'm seeing your dad. Like, your dad actually has a lot to say. Your dad has a lot to say, and she's encouraging your dad to part of this is like part of your dad's. It's part of your dad's path, and the cancer. It feels like in the lungs. It feels like, sorry, I'm getting like kind of a dry throat. It feels like she's handing him, she's handing him the microphone, because she wants to encourage your dad to speak up. It feels like part of the reason that that he has the cancer right now is he's holding a lot in. He's holding a lot in, and as part of his healing process, he can heal. He has the ability to heal this, and there's like a lot of energy. He's a lot of energy right now. So he has the ability to heal this. He has a lot of things literally like on his chest. Like she's showing me like a weight on his chest. And she wants, the reason part of why she came through today is to tell you, to encourage your dad, just like really sit with your dad, Sean, sit with your dad and really encourage him to talk about his feelings, talk about his emotions, talk about whatever it is that he's holding inside, because that will energetically help to release and heal the cancer. So it is definitely possible. And your grandmother also, like, I think that's why she was showing me you like holding on so tightly. I know that you're really worried about him, and that's natural, of course. But you kind of got to like let go a little bit, and really you are the one to sit with your dad and really get him, like, you've got this beautiful spirit and this beautiful ability to kind of get people to open up. And that's kind of your job right now. It's not kind of your job. It is your job right now. That's what your grandmother's saying. So that's your job right now, is to really sit with your dad and get him to open up about whatever it is that he's holding back. It's like hand him the microphone. You know, you're the interviewer. Get him to open up, and that's going to help him to heal. Okay. It's still not over. It's not over. It's not over. I know that it's you know, it's far along in the process, but you know, miracles can happen, and there really is, your grandmother's, she's still got the microphone. You know, get him to talk, get him to open up, because there's a lot that he has like literally on his chest. Okay. So yeah, and I'm sending you just lots of healing energy, lots of light. Just know that your grandmother's right there, and she's right there with your dad as well. Okay. So that's your job right now, is just to be just that loving force with him, and as much as you can, get him to open up. Okay. All right. And your grandmother's such a loving, like, she's solid. She's so solid. She's so like, take charge, take care of everybody. She did that in her life, and she's doing that now on the other side. So, thank you, Evelyn, for coming through today. Thank you very much. And thank you, Sean, for stepping forward. You know, I take this seriously. This is like to be able to, it's very intimate, you know, to be with your loved ones on the other side. I don't take this lightly, and I really want, my intention is to be a clear conduit for spirit connection. And you know, my whole goal in this is to help everyone realize that our loved ones are always around us, and that they never go away. We're always connected to them. We're souls having a human experience. That's who we are. We're spirits, and you know, we can always connect, and everybody has that ability to connect. Your loved ones are always there. Okay. Okay, let's see. Who else do we have here? Is Lori? You're welcome, John. Is Lori here? Lori? Don't think that Lori's here. I had your mother. Have your mother, Lori. If you pop on, I connected with your mother, Alma. So let's see. Don't see Lori on. Let's see. Is Hollis on here? Hollis, do I see you, Hollis? If you're on, say hello. I'm still getting used to this Facebook Live. Okay, I don't see Hollis yet. I don't think, is that you? Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, I know that I did see, so I connected beforehand with, oh, Hollis, there you are, yay. Okay. All right, so Hollis, you were the one of the ones that I did prior to getting on live. I know you wanted to connect with Alan Gross. So here's what I saw. I saw a man in a hospital bed. It felt like there were like bandages on him and like a really heavy weight on his chest, and he couldn't feed himself. Does this make sense to anyone around you? Because I wasn't sure if this is Alan or not. I wasn't sure if Alan, I felt like he was your dad, this man in the hospital bed. I wasn't sure if Alan was your brother or your dad. It wasn't coming through really clearly, but what was coming through really clearly was a man in a hospital bed, and he had like a weight on his chest. So I don't know if someone was in the hospital or passed away in the hospital. It almost felt like they were in some sort of an accident. But then I saw like a weight on his chest. So yes, he did not have, but he could not feed. Okay. So, and Hollis, it felt like, so I was seeing people feeding him. Is this your dad? Is this your dad? The man that we're talking about in the hospital? Because it felt fatherly. Okay, so I saw, okay, yes, he did not, okay. So I saw you there, with him, and it was almost like you were feeding him. He was trying to sit up, his lungs were feeling, yeah, okay, so okay, it may have been my father-in-law, Roy, okay. Okay, so definitely this man came through. So he was sitting in the hospital. He had a weight on his chest, and okay, lungs. It's interesting. We're getting a lot with the lungs today. Okay, the lungs were feeling me. Okay, so it felt like he was trying to sit up and talk as he was transitioning. Were you and Art there in the hospital with him, with Roy? And they took him off. Okay, so they took him off the respirator. Okay, so this man felt like, so he was like showing me like he was punching, like I really pack a punch. Like I felt like this man is very funny, this very dry sense of humor. He felt very tough, and he didn't like to see he was very tough throughout most of his life. He was very strong, and he didn't like people to see him going through what he was going through. In the hospital, having to have people take care of him. For my dad, my mom, and I were there. Okay. Hold on one second. Let me see because I feel like I'm getting you and Art kind of mixed up, because I was getting some things for Art. Let me see something here. Hang on one second. Okay. So he was on a respirator and they took him off. For my dad, my mom, and I were there. Okay. And so this person, I feel like it's your dad, Hollis. I really do. Is your dad's name Alan? Is your dad's name Alan? Is that who you wanted me to connect with? Because it felt like your dad. It felt like your dad. I mean, there was a man. What he was showing me was a man in the hospital, and there's like this weight on his chest. Okay, so it's got to be Alan. Okay, so he definitely died in the hospital. It felt like you were there. It felt like there was something that needed. It felt like as he was transitioning. It felt like there was something that he needed to say, and I don't know if he could talk at that time, but it felt like there was something that was left unsaid. So he was like, he wanted, it felt like, let's see. Okay, so tough, no one, okay, chiropractor. Did he, did your dad, he was showing himself like almost like cooking and like eating. Was he either like a cook or liked to cook, or he could not talk. Okay, so that's what it was. So he couldn't talk at the very end. So there was definitely something that he was trying to tell you. It felt like he was really funny, and I think the reason why I'm getting your reading and Art's reading kind of confused is because your dad feels like he's got these similarities to your husband, Art. It feels like they had a lot of similarities, and so I was kind of like, I wasn't sure exactly who I was talking to, because it felt like your dad, but then in some ways it almost felt like Art as well. So he also showed me, yes, that he was very funny. He had a very dry sense of humor. I don't know if there was something, he was showing me someone, like either he was pushing on someone's back or someone was pushing on his back. He was showing me somebody pushing on his back, and I almost felt like, was he a chiropractor, or did he have to have a lot of work done? It felt like, I wasn't sure what that was. When he stepped through, so it felt like your dad, there was, let me try and connect with him right now, because it felt like there was something, I'm seeing all these words go across, something about your mother, something about your mother. It's like he's apologized. It's like, I feel like it's like a letter of apology. It's a letter of an apology to, I feel like, to you and your mother. It felt like there was something that he really wanted to apologize. I don't know if he was like, he feels like this really funny guy, but I feel like maybe he was like a little hard on you. It feels like there's something that he really wants to apologize to you for. And I think what it is that your dad, he's saying empathy. You're an empath. Hollis, you are such an empath. Okay, so your dad wants you to be very aware of how empathic you are. Never work done, but he was in chronic pain. Okay, in chronic pain. Okay, so your dad wants you to be very, very aware of what an empath you are, and how it feels like your solar plexus is like, it's so overworked. It is so overworked. Like, you absorb everybody's energy, and it feels like it's almost like you're like sort of short circuiting right now. And your dad, like, I'm kind of getting like, I'm feeling it in my solar plexus, like this really strong energy of you taking in like just everyone else's crap, basically, and you're holding it in, and your dad really wants you. I think your dad did this as well. Your dad, definitely, this is where you get this. Your dad did this as well, and it's part of why he was in chronic pain. And it's like he's coming through because he doesn't want you to you're not going to go down the same road, because you're very aware. But he has this like worry and this fear that you would go down the same road, even though I know that you wouldn't. But it feels like he wants you to take very, very, very good self-care, because your solar plexus right now is really overwhelmed. You're taking in everybody else's stuff right now, and he's saying you need to practice just really good self-care when you go out into the world. You are so intuitive and you're so empathic. You've got to shield, and you've got to clear out your energy, like clear your energy, because you're collecting everyone else's energy. You've got to clear your energy. And before you step out anywhere, send out that white light of protection around you and clear yourself and shield yourself, because it's really taking a toll. It's really taking a toll on your energy level as well. And your dad had the same thing, even though he was funny and kind of appeared very this like kind of like he had this toughness about him. He actually was really sensitive. He's really sensitive, and very intuitive and very empathic. And you have the same thing. And like he's really stepping forward today to tell you to make sure that you take care of yourself first. You can't take care of anybody else until you take care of yourself. So practice that self-care. Practice that self-care. I know on our call the other day in our group, you were talking about getting, massages. Take care of yourself. Go get that massage. And definitely before you go anywhere, shield. Because I feel like that's your dad's big message to you today. Okay. Let's see. Who else do we have? I also got, let's see who's on here. Let's see, I don't think Lori's on here. I didn't see Lori pop up. Also Hollis, one more thing. You have a Native American guide. Yes, thank you. Is he okay? Oh my God, your dad is great. If they're coming through like this so strongly, they are on the other side. They're on the other side, and they're healed. They're healthy. Your dad came through with just like the really strong and loving energy, and he's doing great. His concern is for you and taking care of yourself. But he's on the other side. And he's doing great. He's in a really great loving space, and he's always around you too. He's always around you. And he wants you, like, because you are so intuitive and because you're such an empath, you can easily connect to him, and he wants you to ask him for help, ask him for protection. So yes. Let's see. So the next person, I want to try to get to as many people as I can, and I want to get to the people who got a hold of me first. Let's see. Amy Matter. Those were all of the people who came through before I got on. Anybody else? I had Amy wanting to get a hold of her dad, Robert. Also, Dennis Diaz wanting to get a hold of Angel Diaz. Is Dennis or Amy? Let's see. Are you guys on here still? I think I saw Dennis earlier. I don't know if you're still here or not. And Dennis, if you're here, just put something in the chat box. Just say hi, and I will do my best to connect with Angel. Is Dennis still on? I'm not sure that he is. Oops. Okay. Let's see if I can get this to flip back over here. Okay. All right. So don't see Dennis. Let me see if I can see him. All right. Let me get... Oh, Dennis, you are here. Okay, perfect. All right, so Dennis, let me just take a minute. Okay, so I'm going to do this how I would normally do a one-on-one reading. So I'm going to take a minute, Dennis, and connect with your energy. Okay, so it just takes a minute or two to make the connection. Okay, and I know you wanted to connect with Angel Diaz. Okay, so Dennis, I'm seeing two people come through right now. I'm seeing a child, and I am also seeing, it looks like the child comes in with the grandmother. The child's really stepping forward right now. Dennis, did someone pass? Did you either have a child or someone that you knew who was very young that passed? No. Okay. Okay. All right. So let me see who's behind the child. So someone, let's see. Okay, so I'm seeing a woman. I'm seeing a woman step through, and she's holding. Okay, and I cannot tell if this is mom or grandmother. Usually they give me a really clear signal. The grandmother will give me like a. Oh, okay. I'm also seeing it. Okay. Okay, so I'm seeing. Okay, I'm going to ask them to come one at a time because there's two people who are coming through right now. There's a woman who's holding, she's holding up a mirror kind of like an old fashioned mirror. I feel like she was kind of into appearances. She's got something going on with her left arm. I don't know. Let's see, is this mother or grandmother? And also there's a man who's stepping through as well. So Dennis, can you tell me, I'm seeing a mother and a father. It's definitely a mother and a father. Um, did both your parents pass? Are both your parents on the other side? Well, I'll see if I can just get if I can get the message from them. I'm not sure if you're still there. But it feels like a mother. Okay. Only dad. Okay. Okay. So then it's grandmother. It's grandmother and dad that's coming through. Okay. Sometimes that the grandmothers will feel very motherly if they were in your life a lot and if they took care of you a lot. Okay, so let me see what message Dad has for you today. Okay, so I'm seeing your dad, and he has it looks like he has so he's coming in with his mother. So that's grandma standing behind him, and it looks like he's got dark hair, and it's kind of like, I almost want to say it's like kind of this curly sort of hair, but it's short. He's got short dark hair, and did your dad enjoy? Did he enjoy drinking a lot? He's holding up a bottle to, and he's kind of like, I don't know if he was like, kind of feels like kind of feels like a party guy. Um, Kind of feels like a party guy. Um, it also felt like he's kind of holding his head right now. Your dad's holding his head, so I don't know if he. Um, and he's got like headphones over his ears. It feels like in life, like he sort of like it feels like he kind of tuned out, if that makes any sense. Like he kind of it felt like he's showing me like that he was a kind of a drinker, and he's like, it's whenever I see headphones, it's like you're not hearing the message. You're trying to kind of like disconnect. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to your dad? um, I feel like gosh, the hard part is that there's this ton. Okay, so Dennis, yes. Okay, yes. Okay, perfect. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I feel like let me see what your dad has to say. So he wants to, he's like pulling something. His he's kind of pulling on his mom. It felt like he relied on his mom a lot. Um, and his mom is still with him. Um, and he's still kind of relying on her. He's like, come on, mom, help me out with this. Because his mom is a little bit more expressive. I feel like your grandmother was a little more expressive in life. And sometimes it feels like your dad is on the other side, and it feels like he was a drinker and he kind of tuned things out. And it feels like he's on the other side. He's going through a lot of healing, and it feels like your grandmother is there, helping him to heal, which is like, it's a good thing. A lot of times on the other side, when in life, we kind of have, a lot of hardships and things get kind of tough, which I feel like, it wasn't, your dad didn't have like the easiest life. It doesn't feel like internally. So it feels like he's getting a lot of help on the other side, in healing, and that's kind of why he's not coming through really, really strong. He's coming through kind of faint, and he comes in with your grandmother, who's kind of like, she's like putting a blanket around him. So he's doing well. It's almost like when we have a hard time in this life, and we get to the other side, it's almost like a rehabilitation center a lot of times for the soul, and the soul has to go through a lot of healing, and there are, our loved ones are there on the other side to kind of help us through the healing process. And it feels like your grandma's kind of pulling him away right now, and so it feels like he has a lot of healing, but your grandma is saying that it feels like he's speaking through your grandmother, because he can't really speak right now, because a lot of his energy is going towards healing. But what grandma is saying is that he loves you, and he always loved you. And if he was distant, or if he was checked out sometimes, it had nothing to do with you. That it had to do with what he was going through internally, and that he loves you, and he did the best that he could with what he had. And it's almost like he wishes he was, I feel like he was there, but sort of checked out a lot. So he wishes that he was more present, even in the times that he was with you. But that I feel a lot of love coming through. And he just wants you to know that you are loved. And I feel like he's saying like that little boy like deserved, it deserved a better father. That's what he's saying. Like that he wished that in life he could have given you more attention, and the attention that you deserved. And like he's saying, like it had nothing to do with you. He's showing like it almost like looks like a top like spinning around his head, and it's like yeah, he's putting like something over his eyes. It's like he was just blind. He was like blind to like really being there, and being the father. That he was going through a lot of, it felt like, mental turmoil is what it feels like. I just see this top kind of just spinning around his head. But he wants you to know, and your grandmother wants you to know, that you're loved. And that little boy inside, just, they're sending you so much love. And I don't know why he's showing me a car, like driving a car. And it almost feels like, was he in an accident? Sometimes that's a symbol. I never know if the steering wheel is a symbol for a car accident or if let me see. The first time he told me he loved me, I was 16 years old. Dang at the phone. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Dennis. So he's like, he wants you to feel that love. Like if anything, the reason why he's coming through today is because it's like just such a deep apology. Like I see like grandmother's kind of relaying the message because he's going through so much healing, relaying the message, just like they're just holding you in their arms, yeah, just so much love. And yeah. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else that they want to say. He's just showing me the symbol for like apology. Like when I see, like he's just doing this, like apologies, like you deserved a better father. You're such a beautiful soul. He says a loving person, a good, you were a good kid. And he was so sorry that he wasn't there like he should have been. He's just showing me like this baby and he wishes that he was there more. So just know that he loves you. Just know, and your grandma, and they're like holding your hands, just like they're hoping that you're receiving this right now. Okay. Whew. Okay. All right. Yeah, I get that. I totally get that he was like there physically and like in your life, but he just, at times he couldn't express his love, and it was like he said, it had nothing to do with you. It was all what he was going through and how like kind of locked in he felt. So okay, let me see. What time is it here? Okay, is Amy Matarolo on here? I know she wanted to connect with her dad, Robert. Amy, are you here? Okay, if not, I can probably take, I think that was it. I know, Art, if you're still here, I know, Art, you wanted to connect with Roy or Shelly Citron. Art, are you still here? Oh, absolutely, Dennis. Absolutely. You're so welcome. Okay. Oh, Cammie. Hi, Cammie. Okay, me, please. Okay. So, okay. Let me do art. Okay, let me do art first, and then Cammie, I will try and get to you. Okay, so art. Let's see. Okay, Roy or Shelly Citron. Okay. Whew. There's a lot. I have never done this before where I do multiple people at once. There's so much energy. It's like you can just feel your loved ones, like they're like behind the scenes, like over here, kind of like raising their hand. I want to turn. Okay. Let me connect with Art. And see who steps through. Someone's there. They're being a little bit shy. They're not quite sure if they want to do this. It's funny. Like I see, I wish I could do this with my eyes open, by the way, so I can like connect with you guys, but I can't yet. Okay, so I see somebody, and they're like almost like, so there's the veil between the side and the other side, and they're like peeking through, and then kind of like closing it up. I feel like it's a male. Art, did you have anybody there being, I feel like this, did you have anybody who was in the service at all? Like army? Because here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing someone who feels like male peeking through, and what they're dangling out is a medal. Like, and whenever I see a medal, it usually means that someone was in the service, like Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, usually, possibly in a war. Does that make sense? Yes, his dad and grandfather. Okay. Is dad Roy? Is that dad? Sometimes it's just helpful if I have the name, because it's easier to connect with their energy. So seeing if is dad's name Roy? Yes, dad is Roy. Okay, all right. So I feel like that's who's popping through right now. He's just like not quite sure about all of this. So hold on a second. It's easy to keep the connection with my eyes closed, and sometimes I kind of lose it a little bit when I'm going back and forth to check the comments. So, okay, let me see. So let me see if Roy will pop through. So Roy definitely was in the service. He's still showing me his medal. So okay, so I see a man, and he's in like a white. He's wearing like this white jacket, and okay, so he's. It almost feels like he's. I feel like this is not right, but I don't know why he's showing me, like, it feels like he's like zipping up the jacket, putting on his tie, but he has something in his ears. It almost feels like a stethoscope, but I feel like he was not a doctor, but I don't know why he's showing that to me. He was not a doctor, correct? Because it doesn't feel like he was a doctor, but he's showing me the stethoscope. His dad is Roy. And he had, I don't know why he's showing that to me. That's so interesting. Was he in and out of the doctors a lot? I know you said he had something with his lungs, correct? Okay. Yes, he was sick in the end for a while. Okay, but it seems like they usually show me, like, usually when they'll come in, the first thing that they'll kind of show me is what they look like, maybe what they dress like, whether they were in, like, he's very proud of being in the service, but he's showing me like, this isn't, okay, hang on. Let me see if I can just kind of clear the connection. He was, sometimes if people or spirits are a little more, if they're not the best communicators in life, sometimes they have a hard time communicating on the other side. Like it takes a little bit, because again, he's not quite so sure about this. But hold on, it feels like, so it feels like art. So I see your dad, and your dad is showing me, he's showing me like being in this relationship. It feels like it's your mother. Feels like it's your mother. And has your mother passed as well? He's showing me like, he's like, Dan, he's really in love. He's really in love with this woman. Is that Shelley? Is your mother Shelley? Is that, I know you said you wanted to connect with Roy and or Shelley. Okay, makes sense. Okay, yes. Okay, so I feel like they're both coming in. I think Mom's stepping in as well, and it feels like it just feels like they're just really in love, and they're really happy to be together. And I just get this like, I get this really deep love, but I also, your dad's showing me like, he like, I don't know if this makes sense to you, but I feel like he like he's turning his back on your mom, like in life. Like there was a period of time where he turned his back on her. And she's like kind of shaking his shoulders, like, what are you doing? And he still has his back to her. But it feels like he comes back to her. And I feel like he's, yeah, and then he turned, and now they're back together. So I feel like, I don't know if he's showing me this because, and now he's showing, it's like art as a little boy, and then there's this like Ferris wheel, like spinning around. And I feel like there was like a period of time in your life, I don't know if your mom and dad split up, or if there's a period of time where they were like arguing, or if something happened where your dad had to leave for a while. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's just like the impression from what he's showing me, because he's showing me like his back turned, but then it's like your mom has to take care of him. So I feel like he's like sort of apologizing for that. But he feels like a really good guy. He feels like a really good guy, and it feels like your mom feels like a really good person. It just felt like there was something that sort of, well, just like I said, like he's just turning his back, but then they're like reunited. I don't know if that makes sense to you at all. He did not leave physically, but was gone emotionally. Okay, that makes sense, because your mom is still like I never see your mom let go of him. Like your mom's always, even though his back is turned, your mom's always like holding him, like come back, like almost like trying to pull him back, I guess emotionally. But he really appreciates your mother, and they are together on the other side, and they both appreciate, it's like they're showing me you and Hollis, and they both are like, they're just so happy that you guys have each other. They're showing, it's almost like sparkles, like what are those called? Like fireworks, like around, like they're very happy that you and Hollis have each other. And let me see if there's like, it's so funny. It's like they're not really saying much. Your mom and dad are not saying much. They're like just sort of like staring into each other's eyes. And I don't know if maybe that's like, if somehow that is a healing message to you, because neither one of them are really like speaking or saying much. It's just like, I think they want you to know that they're like mended and healed and together. And they're like, they're holding, they're wanting you. Okay, okay, whoa, okay. So there's like, almost like, what are those dandelions, little wish that you blow. So they're holding that, and it's like growing and growing and growing and growing. And they're behind you, Art. And it's like, ew, it's like they're so proud of your imagination. Like, they're so proud of who you are. So I'm just getting like this huge light. And it's like, whatever it is that you want in life, they're like, know that you can have it. Know that you can have it. It's like this huge width. They're like, you're bigger and greater and grander than you feel right now. And I'm seeing it's like, I mean, I know quite a bit about you. So, but I'm seeing this, like a broadcast. It's like broadcast. It's like this wish is turning into like a broadcast. That's all I can say. And I think you know what that means. They're just really encouraging you, like, they're showing me like a button on the wish. So it feels like there's this button, and like you're pressing the button, almost like stopping it sometimes. Like you're making it smaller, this dream, this vision, of your life and what you want, what you are creating. It's like you're putting the stop button on it sometimes, and they're like, just let it go. Cause they're showing me this, like, it's like that wish fulfilled, and it's growing. And like I said, it just broadcast is what it's like, broadcasting everywhere. That wish is like going out, like into the airwaves. So they're really proud of you. So just know that. And that's what they wanted to step for. So that's both of them are like, they're like holding hands, and they're holding on to your wish. They're like, just, know your own worth, know your own power. Basically, you got this. Like, stop trying to make it smaller than it is. It's as big as you want it to be. Okay. That's so weird. Let me see what this says. Sorry, but it's like turned. Physically, talkers are so weird because they never showed emotion towards each other. Oh, that's really interesting. So, yeah. So I think what you're saying, Art and Hollis, that they weren't talkers, and that so they weren't really saying much, like in spirit form, and a lot of times that's how they'll come through, and that they didn't really show a whole lot of emotion, and they didn't show affection for each other. But I feel like they didn't show a lot of affection, and I feel like that's like, it's almost like a healing message for Art, is that like, that love is there, even though they didn't show it. That love is there, and it's really strong, and your dad especially is so appreciative of your mother, and vice versa, but your dad like feels like, he almost feels like like it was like he's taking sort of like a little bit of like blame for being so closed off emotionally, especially towards your mom. And he knows that they both know that affected you, and I think that's why they're coming through, like showing their love, because that love is really there. They just weren't very good at showing it. So yes. Okay. You are so welcome. Okay, Cammie, I think I have time for one more. I'm sorry, you guys. I want to try to get to everybody. I can take one more. Cammie, let's see. Who did you want to connect with? If you just put that in the chat box there and let me know who it is that you want to connect with, I will do my best to make the connection. Or I can just see who's around you as well, if you're still there. Are you there, Cammie? Okay, yes. Okay, my dad, Gary Getter, or my best friend, Georgia. Okay, so Gary, let me just write this down. So Gary, best friend is Georgia. Okay, Georgia. Okay. Okay, I'm going to connect with Cammie's energy. You're such a bright light. You always have been. So much fun. Okay. Through. I think it's Dad. Okay, let me see. It's so interesting. We're having like the fathers come through with their mothers today. Okay, so I see. Oh. Okay, so this is what I see. I'll just tell you what I see. So I see a man, and he's laying in. It's like either like on like almost one of those like lazy boy recliners, and there's a dog jumping up and licking his face, licking his chin. The dog looks like dark, like a black dog, and there's someone standing behind him. It's his mom, so it feels like maybe before he died. Did your dad, I'm almost getting something in the head. Did your dad have, so someone's behind him. I feel like it's his mom is behind him, and she's rubbing his head. And the dog's like sitting on his lap. Did your dad have some sort of, you're welcome, Art. Yeah, some sort of head trauma? They're like rubbing his eyes. Like a stroke. Sometimes like it comes through if someone's rubbing their head. It's like, I feel like it's cancer though. I feel like your dad had cancer. Did he have cancer? Oh wait, yes to the stroke. Yes, hold on. So grandma is, okay. He had narrowing in his neck. I kept calling it stroke after stroke. His eyes went sideways. Okay, that makes so much sense. Okay. So that's why, okay, got your dad here. Grandma is with him, yes, so she definitely was with him the whole time. So he's just confirming when they, when they show like how they passed or what was going on with them physically. It's just confirmation that they're here. So he's showing me a book. He's opening up a book, and he's like filling something out. It feels like, so he's filling something out and he's holding something in his hands. Okay, now he's turning the book so I can see it. Okay, but it almost feels like you're shaking hands. So it feels like a will or like an inheritance, or, and then there's people like shaking hands over it. So is there anything and I'm not sure why it has to do with like an inheritance or a will. I'm trying to figure out what he's showing me. It's like, oh, it's like the combination. It's like a combination to a safe. He's showing me like a safe. So is there something that you're still supposed to get, that he still wants you to have? Because I feel like there's something like locked up, like in secret. Does this make any sense? They found cancer during all of his scan. Okay, so both. Okay. Rose. Okay, so Rose is his mom. And is there anything, did you have like questions, or did something happen with like inheritance or something? Like he's showing me like this safe. It's like a lock, like a combination lock, but it looked like, say again so my mom can hear, please. Rose. Oh, Rose is my mom. Okay, so you want me to say the whole thing again? So, okay. So saw your dad, and his mom was holding his head. So I felt like, in doing something with his eyes, it felt like he had like had a stroke. And then I also got cancer, that he had passed, there was cancer in his body as well. And then there was a dog like jumping up in his lap and licking his chin. So I don't know if he had like a favorite dog, or if you have a dog. There's some dog that he was really close to, it feels like. And then he's showing me like this book, and the book turned, and it felt like it was like a ledger, or like almost like a will, or some sort of like, then there are people shaking hands, like it was like an agreement. And then he's showing me like a combination to a lock, like almost like that you would, like a combination like lock, like on a safe. So I don't know, I'm not sure why he's showing that. I don't know if that has any significance to you. I'm not sure what that means. If there's some sort of a safe with, because I felt like he was also like holding this little, like this bag of money as well. So it feels like, I don't know, but I'll have to figure it out. I don't know, but I'd have to figure it out about the book. Yeah, there's something there. It feels like he's either talking about like an inheritance, or that there's more. I feel like it's like there's more money than he wants you to have. There's more money like put away somewhere, or like it's going to get unlocked. Like there's something coming. It's what it feels like. I don't know. Maybe talk to your mom about what that could be. But they don't show me. they show me that's very purposeful. Whatever they're showing me, it's, you know, it means something. It might not make sense right now, but it will make sense. It will make some. Yeah, I love it. Woo! It will make sense. So I hope that's what it means. I hope that's what it means. I hope it's like more money coming to you. Okay, let me see if there's anything else that your dad wants to say. He's like shaking hands with somebody still. Like, I feel like he's like, are you in a relationship? You in a relationship? It feels like he's like approving. It's just like, it feels like that's what it feels like. Like he's like shaking your significant other's hand. Like you have my approval. And then it's like all of a sudden things are spinning. So I don't know if like, and it's like spinning the other way. I don't know if things were rocky within a relationship, like a past relationship. But it feels like whatever you're doing now, whatever relationship you're in right now, your dad's like shaking their hand is what it feels like. He did give me that before he died. So, okay, any, let me see if he has anything else to say. Let me see. He just loves you and your mom a lot. Like, he really wanted to say that to your mom, too. He's like, it's almost like, he has her hand. I see her hand and, like, her wedding finger, her ring finger. And he's just like, he's just sending love. Just sending a lot of love. And like I'm seeing like this big diamond. It's like he's like giving you both. Like I feel like he's like this. Like there's like this kind of like to my princess, to my queen. This kind of, it feels like there's just big jewels. Like he's just showering you with just jewels, and he just loves you guys so much. There's like so much love coming from him. And I feel like you guys see something that reminds you of him. That's just the feeling that I'm getting. And it's sort of like I can see the energy, like you see something repetitively. He's showing me presents, like he's giving you presents. I don't know. I feel like there's some sort of surprise that like you guys are going to get some sort of surprise that comes from him that you didn't know about. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm feeling. Like he's kind of, and he's like, I feel like he's like shaking my hand now. He's like, okay, deal. Like I feel like there's something. So just don't be surprised if you receive some sort of money or some sort of, like he's showing me like these rings, like diamond rings, and something that you didn't know about from him, that will be coming your way. That's him radiating peace and strength. Oh, thank you, Selena. Oh, all right, Cami. So let me see if there's one last thing. Your dad's pretty chatty here. So let me see if he wants to say anything else. He just got his arm linked on your arm. He just wants you to know that he's always there. He is always there. It's like he feels like, you know, in one sense, he wishes he could have like been on earth a little longer to, you know, just because he loves you so much. But on the other in another way, he's happy to be on the other side because he can help you so much more. And I feel like he's showing me a bird. I don't know what kind of bird that is. It looks like an eagle or an owl. It's some like bigger bird. When you see that, when you, it's a bird. So so a bird is the symbol for him, but it's a bigger bird. It's like an owl. I feel like it's an owl. That's like, that's him saying hello. That's him saying hello. Okay. All right. Oh, and he doesn't want to go. He's like, I want to keep talking. He is showing you to me as a ballet dancer, and it might sound kind of funny if you don't do ballet, but whenever I see a ballerina or a ballet dancer, it means like this sense of freedom is coming. So like this big weight is kind of lifted off your shoulder. So just know that's coming for you. It's just this real sense of freedom coming into your life, like this big just a release is what it feels like. So, and again, he just wants to say that he loves you very, very much. Very much. I feel like he liked to watch TV. He's like showing me a remote control. Okay. He's kind of funny. Okay. All right. So thank you very much, Gary. It was beautiful talking to you. Thank you very much for being here. And Cami, thank you for being on and sharing your family with me. Okay, you guys. Well, thank you very much. I'm still getting used to this Facebook Live thing. I'm like looking at my messages like this. I'll get better at it. And I'd love to do this. I'm going to do this every Saturday. So I think next Saturday I'm going to do some card readings. So I'll answer more life questions. This week I was using mediumship and connecting with past loved ones. So next Saturday, I'll post the time, but next Saturday I'm going to do some card reading. So any life questions that you have, any areas that maybe you feel blocked or stuck, or just general guidance, I'm going to use my cards and we'll do some readings that way. Okay. Oh, Amy. Okay, Amy, I didn't realize that you were on. I know. My dad is so quiet. I wonder. Okay, I'm sorry. I did like a call for you earlier, but I didn't think that you were on. But you will be first in line. The next one that I do. Okay. Because I know that you really wanted to connect with your dad. So thank you, Cami. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, everybody who was on. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend, and hopefully I'll see you guys next Saturday. Okay, and we'll do some more readings. All right. Thank you, guys. Love you guys.